The sweet danger, hiding in your fruit bowl. Have you noticed your legs feeling heavier lately? Is climbing stairs more difficult than it used to be? Do your knees ache, even after a simple walk? You might assume it's just aging. But what if the real cause wasn't your age, but something hiding in plain sight, in your kitchen, on your plate, and even in your fruit bowl? Because here's the truth no one talks about. Some fruits, yes, even the ones labeled healthy, can quietly spike your blood sugar, disrupt your circulation, inflame your joints, and slowly weaken your legs. You've been told for years that fruit is nature's perfect food, and for many people, it is. But after 60, your metabolism, hormones, and circulation change, and what once helped may now be hurting you. In today's video, we're exposing 8 common fruits that older adults should think twice about, and what to eat instead to keep your legs stronger, your joints looser, and your energy steadier. If you care about protecting your independence and avoiding unnecessary pain, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications now. And if you're watching this because something doesn't feel quite right, comment 1 below. If you've ever wondered whether even healthy food might be doing hidden harm, this could change the way you look at fruit forever. You've probably heard it your whole life. Eat more fruit. It's nature's dessert. Full of vitamins, good for the body. And for many years, that advice worked. But here's something they rarely mention. As we age, especially after 60, our bodies change in subtle but powerful ways. Your metabolism slows. Your circulation isn't as strong. Your blood sugar becomes harder to regulate, and your joints may not bounce back like they used to. So the very fruits that once nourished you may now be doing something else entirely. Not because they're bad, but because your body's needs have shifted. You see, some fruits, especially those we've always seen as healthy, can quietly raise inflammation, strain your blood vessels, and make walking, standing, or even resting less comfortable. This isn't about cutting out fruit entirely. It's about getting smarter with your choices and understanding how to match what you eat to where your body is today. So in this video, we'll walk through 8 fruits that seniors over 60 may want to limit, and the better alternatives that can support your legs, joints, and energy instead. Let's begin with one that looks like a tropical healer, but may actually be stirring up more trouble than it solves: pineapple. 1. Pineapple. The acidic inflammation trigger. Let's take a closer look at pineapple. It's bright, tropical, and often thought of as a healthy indulgence. Many people, especially seniors, choose it believing it's good for digestion and inflammation. This belief largely stems from the presence of bromelain, a naturally occurring enzyme in pineapple that has shown some anti-inflammatory effects in laboratory settings. However, the reality is more complex, particularly for older adults. Pineapple is rich in both sugar and natural acids, which can present hidden risks for those managing joint pain, arthritis, or poor circulation. 1 cup of fresh pineapple contains about 16 grams of sugar. For someone with age-related insulin resistance, this is not a small number. As we grow older, our bodies become less efficient at processing glucose. According to a study published in the journal Diabetes Care in 2003, older adults often show significantly reduced insulin sensitivity compared to younger individuals, especially in the lower extremities. This means that sugar from something as seemingly innocent as pineapple can linger in the bloodstream longer, causing spikes that silently damage the small blood vessels in the legs and feet. This damage may not be noticeable right away, but over time, it contributes to a gradual weakening of the legs. Seniors may experience swelling in the ankles, tightness in the knees, or that heavy, dragging feeling in the calves after only a short walk. These sensations often go unexplained, but what you eat plays a larger role than many realize. Pineapple also contains citric and malic acids, which are naturally irritating to inflamed joints. For those already dealing with arthritis or chronic joint stiffness, these acids may quietly worsen the inflammation. Combined with the fruit's sugar content, it creates a perfect storm for discomfort, even if the symptoms take months or years to fully appear. Another consideration, particularly for those taking medications, is pineapple's potential to interfere with certain drugs. Bromelain, while potentially beneficial in small amounts, has been shown to interact with blood thinners and increase the risk of bruising or bleeding. If you are taking medications such as warfarin or aspirin, it is worth consulting your doctor before regularly including pineapple in your diet. The most dangerous aspect of pineapple for seniors is how subtle the damage can be. There is often no immediate reaction. The fruit tastes good, it feels healthy. But over time, the sugar, acid, and possible drug interactions can all contribute to reduced mobility and increased pain. You don't need to completely eliminate pineapple from your diet, but moderation is key. If you've noticed that your legs feel heavier or your knees ache more than usual, consider reducing your intake. Once or twice a week in small portions may be enough to enjoy its flavor without causing harm. Now, if a fruit like pineapple, widely believed to help with inflammation, can have these unintended effects, what about the fruit most seniors eat for energy and potassium? Next, we'll explore the real impact of bananas and how they might be affecting your legs more than you realize. Fruit 2. Bananas. The circulation saboteur. Let's talk about bananas. Soft, sweet, and packed with potassium, bananas have long been considered a go-to snack for energy and muscle support. Many older adults reach for them thinking they're a natural fix for leg cramps or a nutritious addition to breakfast. And while it's true that bananas offer essential minerals like potassium and magnesium, their effects on aging circulation and blood sugar may not be as harmless as they appear. The primary concern with bananas lies in their glycemic load. While they are not as sugary as processed desserts, bananas contain a high concentration of quickly digestible carbohydrates. A medium banana contains approximately 27 grams of carbohydrate, with 14 of those coming from naturally occurring sugar. This matters because the glycemic load, which measures how much a food raises blood glucose, is moderate to high for ripe bananas. In older adults with decreased insulin sensitivity, this rapid glucose influx can lead to harmful blood sugar spikes. A study published in the Journals of Gerontology in 2010 found that older adults, particularly those over 60, had a significantly blunted ability to clear glucose from the bloodstream after consuming high glycemic foods compared to younger adults. These repeated spikes can worsen insulin resistance over time, meaning the body has to work harder and harder to use the same amount of sugar. This often leads to fatigue, increased hunger, and most concerning of all, inflammation in the lower limbs. You may notice that after eating bananas regularly, your ankles feel puffy. Your knees might begin to feel stiffer, or you might wake up with sore calves or tightness in your thighs. This is not your imagination. It is the result of excess glucose and its inflammatory effect on the blood vessels and soft tissues in your legs. The problem is gradual. There's no sharp pain that warns you. Instead, your mobility declines slowly until everyday actions like walking upstairs or standing from a chair feel noticeably harder. There is also the issue of fluid retention. Bananas are high in potassium, which normally helps regulate fluid balance. But for seniors with impaired kidney function or heart conditions, the body may struggle to maintain that balance. This can lead to water retention, which manifests as swelling in the legs and feet. When combined with glucose-induced inflammation, the outcome is a perfect recipe for chronic leg discomfort. That doesn't mean bananas are inherently bad. They are whole foods, and in moderation, they can be part of a balanced diet. The problem arises when they are consumed too often, especially first thing in the morning or on an empty stomach. When eaten alone, bananas rapidly spike insulin and provide little in the way of fiber or protein to slow digestion. If you enjoy bananas, pair them with a protein source like Greek yogurt or nut butter. Better yet, choose half a banana instead of a full one, and avoid eating them daily if you've been experiencing leg fatigue, swelling, or joint stiffness. Your circulation and your legs will thank you. Next, let's explore a fruit even smaller than the banana, but possibly more dangerous. Sweet, bite-sized, and easy to overeat, grapes might seem harmless. But what happens when those tiny fruits flood your body with hidden sugar? You'll want to hear what's coming next. Fruit 3. Grapes. The tiny fruit with a big sugar bomb, grapes. Tiny, juicy, and deliciously sweet. For many seniors, they feel like a healthy indulgence, bite-sized and seemingly light. They're easy to wash, easy to eat, and easy to enjoy by the handful. But here's what most people over 60 don't realize. Those innocent little grapes can quietly deliver a massive sugar load to your system, and over time, that sweetness can turn into a serious metabolic problem. Let's start with the basics. A single cup of grapes contains about 23 grams of sugar. That's nearly as much as a standard candy bar. But unlike a candy bar, grapes are often consumed in much larger portions because they don't feel heavy or artificial. You might sit down with a bowl, intending to have a few, and end up consuming 50 to 60 grapes in one sitting. And because they don't have much fiber to slow absorption, the fructose in grapes enters your bloodstream rapidly. This matters, especially for older adults, because fructose is processed differently from other sugars. Instead of going straight into your bloodstream like glucose, fructose is metabolized almost entirely by the liver. When the liver receives more fructose than it can process at once, it converts it into triglycerides fats that can build up in the liver and bloodstream and into uric acid. And uric acid is where things start to hurt. A 2009 study published in the journal Nutrients found that excessive fructose intake is strongly associated with increased levels of uric acid in the blood. High uric acid is a major contributor to gout, which causes sudden and severe joint pain, often starting in the toes or ankles. Even if you haven't been diagnosed with gout, the buildup of uric acid can still trigger chronic, low-grade joint inflammation, especially in the knees, hips, and feet. You might notice a burning ache after walking or standing, swelling in the ankles, or tightness in your calves. It's easy to blame these symptoms on age, but many seniors are unknowingly making things worse by regularly snacking on grapes, believing they're doing something healthy. There's also the metabolic toll. In the same nutrient study, researchers observed that diets high in fructose from fruit juice and sugary fruits like grapes were linked to insulin resistance, especially in older adults. When insulin resistance increases, your cells stop responding properly to insulin's signal. This leads to more sugar in the bloodstream, which triggers more inflammation, more fatigue, and more difficulty with mobility and balance. Over time, it becomes a vicious cycle: high sugar, poor circulation, joint pain, and reduced physical activity, all leading to further weakness. And let's not forget how easy it is to overconsume grapes. Their small size makes them deceptively snackable. You can finish a bowl of grapes in less than 5 minutes and end up flooding your liver with more fructose than it can safely process. Unlike berries, which have more fiber and fewer sugars, grapes offer little protection against these effects. If you enjoy grapes, the solution isn't necessarily to cut them out entirely, but moderation is crucial. Instead of snacking on grapes daily, limit your intake to a small handful on occasion and pair them with a protein or fat, such as a few almonds or a slice of cheese, to help blunt the sugar response. And always be mindful of portion sizes, especially if you're already dealing with leg discomfort, swelling, or metabolic health issues. Mini CTA. If this surprised you or helped explain why your legs feel more sluggish after snacks, comment the word grapes below. We'd love to hear how fruit affects your body. Grapes may seem like a healthy habit, but for seniors over 60, the real story is more complex. When the body slows down, even natural sugars can have outsized effects. Being aware of how these sugars affect your joints, your circulation, and your energy is the first step in reclaiming control. Coming up next, we'll take a look at a fruit you've probably enjoyed in big, juicy slices on a summer afternoon. It looks harmless, tastes like hydration, and seems like the perfect senior-friendly snack. But beneath the surface, watermelon might be quietly draining your strength. Let's take a closer look. Fruit 4. Watermelon. The deceptive hydrator. Watermelon. Light, juicy, refreshing. It feels like the perfect summer fruit, especially for seniors trying to stay hydrated. But what most people don't realize is that watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes of any fruit, often measuring around 76 to 80. That means it causes blood sugar to spike rapidly after eating, almost as fast as a sugary snack. For older adults, that quick sugar spike can lead to fatigue, swelling, and discomfort in the legs and feet. Your body, especially after 60, doesn't manage insulin as efficiently as it once did. And when sugar enters the bloodstream too quickly, your circulation and joints can quietly suffer. In one study involving older adults, those who consumed high glycemic foods like watermelon experienced greater fluctuations in glucose levels and reported significantly more post-meal fatigue and leg heaviness compared to those who consumed low glycemic options. The link between rapid sugar spikes and muscular fatigue was clear, and deeply relevant to seniors concerned about mobility. To make matters worse, watermelon contains little fiber or fat to slow digestion, so the sugar rush hits hard and fast, and because it feels so light, many people overeat it, often 2 or 3 slices at a time, without realizing they've just consumed the sugar equivalent of several teaspoons. If you've noticed aching calves, swollen ankles, or a heavy sensation in your legs after eating watermelon, it may not be your imagination. These symptoms often track closely with post-meal glucose spikes and inflammation. Now, this doesn't mean you must cut watermelon out completely, but it does mean you should treat it with caution, especially if you already struggle with blood sugar regulation or leg discomfort. Keep portions small. Pair it with a source of protein or fat, and if your legs feel better when you skip it, your body's trying to tell you something. Let us know in the comments. Have you experienced leg fatigue after eating watermelon? Type number 1 if this surprised you. Your story might help someone else avoid discomfort too. Ready for the next fruit? Let's talk about a beloved breakfast staple. Sweet, citrusy, and widely praised for its vitamin C, but possibly irritating your joints more than helping them. Let's look at oranges. Fruit 5. Oranges. The morning joint irritant. Oranges. Bright, fragrant, and often the very first thing we think of when it comes to healthy morning choices. For decades, oranges have symbolized energy, immunity, and freshness, especially when served as juice at breakfast. But for many seniors, this sweet citrus might be doing more harm than good, particularly when it comes to joint pain and blood sugar regulation. Let's begin with the acid. Oranges are rich in citric acid, which gives them that signature tang. For younger people, it's usually not a problem. But after 60, your joints become more sensitive to dietary triggers, especially if you're already dealing with arthritis, stiffness, or lingering inflammation. Citric acid doesn't just pass through harmlessly. In aging bodies, it can irritate the lining of joints and connective tissue, amplifying morning stiffness in the knees, hips, and ankles. Now add sugar to the mix. Oranges may be natural, but they still contain a high concentration of fructose and glucose, particularly when juiced. One medium orange has about 12 grams of sugar, but a single glass of orange juice can contain the sugar of 3 or 4 oranges without the buffering effect of fiber. In a 2017 dietary analysis of older adults, researchers found that citrus juice consumption, particularly orange juice, was associated with higher levels of systemic inflammatory markers like CRP, C-reactive protein, which directly correlates with increased joint discomfort and stiffness in seniors. The spike in inflammation wasn't caused by oranges alone, but they were a contributing factor, especially when consumed regularly in juice form. Have you ever noticed your knees feeling tighter after breakfast? Or that your legs take longer to warm up in the morning, even after a full night's rest? It's easy to blame age, but sometimes the problem starts with what's in your glass. The other issue is blood sugar. Because orange juice lacks fiber, it's absorbed rapidly, leading to sharp increases in glucose. This rise, followed by an insulin spike, can worsen circulation in the lower body, making it harder for oxygen to reach your legs, resulting in dull aches, swelling, or heaviness, even after light activity. What's particularly deceptive is how healthy it all seems. You're told orange juice is good for your heart, good for your immune system, and packed with vitamin C. And while it's true that oranges contain antioxidants, their impact on aging joints and blood sugar can outweigh those benefits for many older adults, especially when consumed daily, in liquid form. This doesn't mean you must avoid oranges entirely, but it does mean moderation matters, and how you consume them is key. If you enjoy oranges, eat them whole and with the pulp. The fiber slows sugar absorption and minimizes the blood sugar impact. Skip the juice, and if you're already waking up stiff or sore, consider removing citrus for a week. You might be surprised by how much more freely your joints move. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed changes in how your legs feel after having orange juice? Type 1 in the comments if this hit close to home, or if you're planning to rethink your morning glass. Coming up next is a fruit that looks crisp, clean, and innocent, often praised as a lower sugar option. But for many seniors, it may be quietly contributing to fatigue, cramping, and joint tightness. Let's talk about green apples. Fruit 6. Green apples. The sour sleep disruptor. Green apples often look like the perfect snack. Clean, crisp, and not too sweet. For many people over 60, they feel like a safer, healthier fruit choice, especially compared to sugary desserts. But what if this trusted fruit, eaten raw in the afternoon or even before bed, is quietly making your legs feel heavier, your knees stiffer, and your sleep more disrupted? The answer lies in two things hiding inside every bite: malic acid and a surprising dose of natural sugar. Let's begin with the acid. That sour tang you taste when biting into a green apple is due to malic acid. It's a naturally occurring compound found in many fruits, but green apples contain it in particularly high amounts. While malic acid has been studied for some therapeutic benefits, it can become problematic when consumed regularly by older adults who have sensitive digestion or existing joint inflammation. As we age, the lining of the gut becomes more delicate, and joints are less tolerant of dietary irritants. Malic acid, especially when consumed frequently, can irritate the tissues of the joints and the gastrointestinal tract. This irritation might not result in immediate pain, but over time, many seniors report increased nighttime joint tightness, interrupted sleep from leg cramps, and a lingering sense of heaviness in the hips and thighs upon waking. In a 2014 observational study examining dietary acids and joint inflammation, researchers found that participants with pre-existing joint discomfort were more likely to report worsened symptoms after consuming acidic foods. These included tart fruits such as green apples, which appeared to contribute not only to digestive issues, but also to systemic inflammation. Now, let's talk about the sugar. Green apples may not taste overly sweet, but one medium apple contains more than 10 grams of natural sugar. In an aging body, where metabolism is slower and insulin sensitivity is reduced, that sugar can trigger a spike in blood glucose levels. When this occurs, especially in the evening or at night, it can cause unstable overnight blood sugar, which leads to restless sleep, nighttime urination, leg cramping, or early morning fatigue. If you've ever woken up with stiff calves or aching knees after a healthy bedtime snack, or experienced restlessness without understanding why, green apples could be playing a role. When eaten alone, without any protein or fat to slow sugar absorption, they may contribute to hidden blood sugar fluctuations and silent joint irritation. This doesn't mean you have to give up green apples entirely. However, if you're experiencing unexplained discomfort, leg tightness, or poor sleep, consider avoiding them for a week. Instead, try low-acid, blood sugar-friendly fruits such as berries or avocado. Then observe whether your body feels lighter, your joints calmer, and your mornings clearer. And here's a question for you. Have you ever noticed nighttime discomfort or leg fatigue after eating a green apple? If so, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your story could help someone else who's struggling in silence. Coming up next, we'll examine a fruit that's refreshing and sweet, but maybe raising your blood sugar faster than you think. Let's talk about mango. Fruit 7. Mangoes. The tropical insulin spike mangoes. They're rich, golden, and irresistibly sweet. For many seniors, a few slices of mango can feel like a reward tropical comfort in a bowl. But what if that juicy sweetness is quietly working against your body, accelerating inflammation, draining your energy, and weakening your legs? Here's the truth. Mangoes contain one of the highest sugar concentrations of any commonly eaten fruit. A single cup of sliced mango delivers over 22 grams of natural sugar. For a senior with slower metabolism and reduced insulin sensitivity, that sugar load can cause a steep blood sugar spike, followed by a dramatic crash. The result? You may feel heavy-legged, foggy, or unusually tired within the hour. Research published in the journal Nutrients found that older adults with impaired glucose tolerance experienced significantly greater post-meal glucose spikes after eating high glycemic fruits like mango compared to those who consumed lower glycemic alternatives. This spike crash cycle doesn't just leave you fatigued, it promotes chronic inflammation, especially in vulnerable areas such as the hips, knees, and ankles. What's more concerning is the cumulative effect. Repeated sugar spikes throughout the week can inflame the soft tissues around your joints, especially in areas with poor circulation. Over time, that inflammation translates to stiffness, throbbing pain, and even swelling that makes it harder to walk, climb stairs, or stay active. Many seniors reported that after eating mango, they experience tightness in their ankles, burning in their knees, or a strange fatigue in their thighs. And yet they often don't connect it to the fruit because mango feels so natural, so healthy. But natural does not always mean harmless. If you've been enjoying mango regularly and also noticing stiffness, sluggish legs, or post-meal crashes in energy, this tropical fruit may be part of the problem. Consider taking a break from it for 2 weeks. Track how you feel. Many people are surprised at the difference in their comfort, mobility, and stability. And here's a mini check-in for you. If mango is a regular part of your diet, type yes in the comments. If not, type no. Let's see how many of us have fallen for the myth that all sweet fruits are safe. Up next is a fruit often seen as a breakfast staple, beloved for its antioxidants, but for seniors, especially those on medication, it can be silently dangerous. Let's talk about grapefruit. Fruit 8. Grapefruit. The medication multiplier. Grapefruit. Bright, refreshing, and long marketed as a health food. For many, it feels like the perfect way to start the day. But if you're over 60 and taking any prescription medications, this fruit might quietly be putting your health at serious risk. The issue with grapefruit isn't just its acidity or sugar content, it's something much more dangerous. Grapefruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins. These naturally occurring chemicals interfere with an important enzyme in your digestive tract known as CYP3A4. This enzyme helps break down many commonly prescribed medications. When grapefruit blocks this enzyme, your medication is no longer broken down at the normal rate. Instead, it builds up in your bloodstream. That means the dose you're taking can become dangerously high, even if you've followed your prescription exactly. It's like turning a regular pill into an accidental overdose. According to clinical data, even drinking a single glass of grapefruit juice can increase the blood levels of certain cholesterol-lowering statins by over 260%. And it's not just statins. This effect has been documented with blood pressure medications, anti-anxiety drugs, certain antidepressants, antihistamines, and even pain relievers. The result? Unexpected side effects such as muscle breakdown, dangerously low blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, or severe dizziness. What's most alarming is that this interaction can last up to 72 hours after consuming grapefruit. That means eating just half a grapefruit for breakfast on Monday could affect your medications until Thursday. For seniors managing multiple prescriptions, a common reality, this becomes a major safety concern. Grapefruit may look clean and nourishing, but its biological effect on drug metabolism is anything but harmless. If you're currently taking medications and unsure whether grapefruit is safe for you, speak with your doctor or pharmacist. Do not rely on assumptions or outdated advice. This one conversation could prevent a serious complication. If grapefruit is something you regularly eat and you're also taking prescriptions, let us know in the comments. Type "warning" if this is news to you, or "safe" if your doctor has already given you the green light. And if you found this helpful, please take a moment to like this video. It's a small click that helps spread critical information to others who may be unaware of these hidden risks. Subscribe now for more eye-opening insights made specifically for your golden years, because health advice should be honest, practical, and built on trust. Let's protect our bodies with smarter choices, one fruit at a time. What to eat? Instead, senior-friendly fruit fixes. 1. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. Let's pivot to the fruits that nourish, protect, and truly support your body as you age. If certain fruits can inflame joints, spike blood sugar, or interfere with medication, then others like blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries do the exact opposite. These vibrant berries are some of the most powerful allies for seniors over 60. And here's why. First, they're remarkably low in sugar. Unlike tropical fruits or grapes that deliver a rapid hit of fructose, berries release their natural sweetness slowly thanks to their high fiber content. That means a gentler impact on your blood sugar. Fewer spikes, fewer crashes, and less pressure on your insulin system. But the real magic is in their color. The deep purples, blues, and reds in these berries come from compounds called anthocyanins. These are potent antioxidants that don't just make berries beautiful, they make them healing. They reduce inflammation. They protect the lining of your blood vessels. And perhaps most importantly for older adults, they guard your brain. In a 2012 study published in the Annals of Neurology, researchers followed over 16,000 women aged 70 and older. Those who ate just 2 servings of blueberries or strawberries per week showed significantly slower rates of cognitive decline up to 2.5 years younger, cognitively, than women who ate fewer berries. That's not a theory. That's real, measurable protection for your memory and mental clarity. And the benefits don't stop there. Berries also support joint health, circulation, and even balance key issues that affect mobility and independence as we age. So how can you enjoy them? Toss half a cup into plain Greek yogurt, blend them into a smoothie with flaxseed, or simply enjoy a small bowl with a sprinkle of cinnamon as a refreshing afternoon snack. Just be sure to use fresh or frozen berries, never dried. Dried berries are often loaded with hidden sugars that cancel out the benefits. Think of these berries as nature's medicine, delicious, gentle, and remarkably effective for protecting your brain, blood sugar, and joints. Type berries in the comments if you already enjoy them or plan to start after today. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more trustworthy tips tailored for your golden years. Up next, we'll reveal another fruit that heals from the inside out, especially if you're struggling with joint pain or sluggish circulation. 2. Cherries, in moderation. Now let's talk about a fruit that's rich, ruby red, and surprisingly powerful when used with care. Cherries. For seniors dealing with joint pain, swelling, or conditions like gout, cherries can be a quiet miracle, not because they're flashy or exotic, but because they target one of the most uncomfortable culprits of aging joints, uric acid. You see, as we grow older, our bodies become less efficient at breaking down purine's natural compounds found in many foods. These purines convert to uric acid, and when levels get too high, crystals begin to build up in joints, especially the big toe, knees, or fingers. The result? That sudden stabbing pain that makes even light walking feel impossible. But cherries have something rare. They contain anthocyanins, the same antioxidant pigments that give them their deep color. And these compounds have been shown to actively reduce uric acid levels and calm inflammation throughout the body. In fact, a 2012 study published in Arthritis and Rheumatism followed more than 600 people with gout and found that cherry consumption over just 2 days was linked to a 35% lower risk of flare-ups. When combined with standard medication, the risk dropped even further to nearly 75% lower. That's a real, science-backed reason to keep cherries in your kitchen. But here's the key: moderation. Cherries are naturally sweet, and if eaten in excess, the sugar can counteract their anti-inflammatory benefits. The sweet spot, pun intended, is about half a cup per day, just enough to get the benefits, without spiking blood sugar or overloading your system. You can eat them fresh when they're in season. Or frozen, just make sure they're unsweetened. They're a perfect addition to a morning bowl of oats or an afternoon snack when your joints feel tight. And here's a bonus. Many seniors report that just a handful of cherries before bed helps them sleep better. Why? Because cherries contain natural melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate your sleep cycle. So if you're managing joint discomfort, gout, or restless nights, cherries might be more than just a treat. They might be a gentle remedy your body's been waiting for. If cherries have helped you before, or you're curious to try them, type "Cherry Calm" in the comments. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's looking for real, natural ways to age with less pain and more freedom. 3. Avocado. Now here's a fruit you might not even realize is a fruit, but it could be one of the most powerful allies in your daily fight against inflammation, joint pain, and unstable blood sugar: the avocado. That soft, creamy green flesh isn't just delicious. It's packed with some of the most healing compounds nature can offer, especially for aging bodies. Unlike high-sugar fruits that can spike your glucose and leave your legs feeling heavy or your energy drained, avocado is rich in monounsaturated fat. And that matters. These healthy fats don't just help you feel full. They work deep inside your cells, calming chronic inflammation, reducing insulin resistance, and actually improving how your body responds to glucose. That's not just theory, it's backed by decades of research. In one study published in Nutrition Journal, participants who added half an avocado to their lunch experienced a 40% decrease in hunger over the next 3 hours. But more importantly, they had significantly improved blood sugar readings, even when carbohydrates were part of the meal. That's metabolic stability in real time. Avocados are also rich in potassium, even more than bananas, which helps regulate blood pressure and ease tension in the legs. Plus, they contain lutein, a powerful antioxidant that supports vision and reduces eye strain, something many seniors struggle with. And here's something most people miss. Avocados help you absorb more nutrients from the other foods on your plate. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are all fat-soluble, meaning you can't use them properly without a source of healthy fat. Add avocado to your salad, cooked greens, or even your eggs, and your body can take in more of the nutrients you need. So how can you enjoy it? Try half an avocado on whole grain toast with a sprinkle of hemp seeds. Dice it into a lentil salad, or scoop it straight from the skin with a spoon and a dash of lemon. No sugar, no spike, just smooth, anti-inflammatory nourishment your joints and blood vessels will love. If avocado is already a part of your weekly routine, or if you're ready to make it one, type green gold in the comments below. And if you're learning something new today, please like this video, subscribe for more natural, food-based strategies, and share it with someone who deserves to feel stronger and more in control. 4. Papaya. Let's turn our attention now to a fruit that's often overlooked, but quietly powerful, especially for seniors dealing with digestive issues, inflammation, and blood sugar challenges. We're talking about papaya. This tropical fruit isn't just sweet and soft, it's a natural healer. At the heart of its power is an enzyme called papain. Think of papain as your body's digestive assistant. It helps break down protein more efficiently, supports smoother digestion, and reduces that heavy, bloated feeling so many older adults experience after meals. And here's what's truly special. Papaya doesn't just aid digestion, it also has anti-inflammatory effects, particularly in the gut. A healthy gut isn't just about comfort. It plays a major role in how your immune system functions, how your body absorbs nutrients, and yes, how stable your blood sugar remains. In a clinical study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food, researchers found that regular papaya consumption led to measurable reductions in inflammation markers and oxidative stress in older adults, both key contributors to insulin resistance and chronic fatigue. That means papaya isn't just soothing your stomach. It's working at the cellular level to calm inflammation, support your metabolism, and make it easier for your body to handle glucose without spikes or crashes. Even better, papaya is low on the glycemic index. That makes it far less likely to raise your blood sugar compared to more sugary fruits. And its soft texture makes it incredibly easy to digest. No chewing struggles, no acid overload. So how should you enjoy it? Just a small bowl of ripe papaya cubes, maybe topped with a little plain Greek yogurt or a sprinkle of ground flaxseed, makes for a perfect breakfast or mid-morning snack. You get fiber, enzymes, and antioxidants all in one delicious bite. If you've ever felt better after eating papaya, or you're ready to give it a try, drop a yes in the comments. And if you've been finding this video helpful, please tap like, subscribe to stay informed about more healing foods, and share it with someone who's looking for real, natural support for aging well. 5. Pears. Now let's talk about a fruit that often gets passed over for flashier choices like grapes or mangoes, but might just be one of the most underrated allies for seniors managing blood sugar. That fruit is the humble pear. At first glance, it might seem too simple to be powerful, but what makes pears so special isn't their sweetness, it's their subtlety. Pears offer a gentle, low glycemic way to enjoy fruit without triggering blood sugar spikes. That's because their natural sugars are balanced by a generous amount of soluble fiber, especially if you eat them with the skin on. This fiber slows the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, helping to keep glucose levels steady after meals. In fact, a study published in Nutrition Journal found that regular consumption of apples and pears was associated with a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The researchers noted that this benefit was strongly tied to the fruit's fiber content and low glycemic response, two things that matter deeply for older adults trying to protect their mobility, vision, and energy. Pears also provide a good dose of vitamin C, potassium, and copper, all important for circulation, blood pressure regulation, and joint health. And because they're so easy to digest, they make a great option for seniors with slower digestion or sensitive stomachs. So how do you enjoy pears in a blood sugar-friendly way? Keep it simple. Slice a ripe pear over a small bowl of cottage cheese or plain yogurt for a filling breakfast or snack. Add a few chopped walnuts or a dash of cinnamon if you'd like a little extra flavor and healthy fat to stabilize your energy even further. Just remember, choose ripe, fresh pears and eat the skin when possible. That's where most of the fiber lives. Have you used pears as part of your daily routine? Drop a comment below and let us know how you enjoy them. And if you found this video helpful, tap like, subscribe for more Senior Smart nutrition tips, and share this with someone who wants to eat better without giving up flavor or comfort. So here's the truth. Not all fruits are safe after 60. Some that once nourished you now quietly drain your energy, inflame your joints, or spike your blood sugar without warning. But this isn't about fear, it's about wisdom. Because your body, it's wiser now too. It needs support, not stress. It needs care that matches where you are, not where you used to be. And when you eat with intention, when you choose fruits that work with your body instead of against it, that's when strength returns. That's when the stairs don't feel quite as steep. That's when walking becomes easier. And mornings feel just a little bit brighter. So take this knowledge as your guide. Let it empower your next grocery trip. Let it shape the plate that fuels your day. If even one fruit surprised you today, tap that like button. Share this with someone you love, especially if they're struggling with leg pain or unpredictable blood sugar. And comment below, what fruit are you cutting out starting today? Subscribe for more age-specific, science-backed health strategies that actually work for your body. Now, you don't need extreme diets, you just need the right choices, at the right time in life. Eat smart, live strong, and we'll see you in the next video.